Hey guys, I'm all bundled up, triple layer. It's like 29 degrees out, it's freezing, and me, Chicago boy, I'm having a hard time down here in Louisiana. It's typically not like me, but it's actually cold after you've been exposed to 100-degree days every single day for the entire summer. It's a little rough when you actually start getting into them cold numbers. So I sympathize for Louisiana people. Total carbs versus net carbs. It used to be that medical providers that we follow on a ketogenic journey would recommend that we would follow some type of net carbohydrate. And the reason they were doing that is because they were trying to allow us to have that upper limit of carbohydrates to add more vegetables and things of that nature in. So we weren't getting down on ourselves that much, taking your total carbohydrate count on the back of that label, subtracting your fiber from it, and then, there's some mathematics that you can do with sugar alcohols as well. Half the sugar alcohols, some of them say you can subtract the whole entire sugar alcohol, but now they're saying quit all that. They're saying it's more beneficial for you to actually figure out what that carb tolerance number is by looking at the total number, because all the fiber that's in food is not totally digestible. Some of it is and some of it isn't. So some of it affects us a certain way, and so you got soluble fiber and non-soluble fiber. And we don't even know if soluble fiber keeps or actually gets digested like we think it does. So what they're saying now is, basically to be careful with that. They're finding that people are getting better results by restricting themselves. And when I say restricting, it's not that bad. Believe you, I've done it. I was at 50, 75 grams of carbohydrates, and these are net carbohydrates per day. And I simply was out of ketosis often, or a very low level of ketones, and I didn't even realize it. So when I switched to a total carb count of 20, my weight loss started happening faster. And what I'm finding now is the fact that people are so carb intolerant, they have such metabolic conditions that the level of carbohydrates that they're typically having when they try to have this 30 to 50 grams of net carbs or 50 grams of net carbs per day is simply too much. It's not allowing them to actually get into a deeper level of ketosis and to actually produce more ketones and feel that therapeutic effect of being on a ketogenic diet like they think it would. And a lot of them like to hold on and use the excuse that, it works for me. I've lost 40 pounds and I'm doing fine. Well, if that's what you want to do, then I'm not talking to you. You go ahead and you do what you do. But if you're questioning whether or not you're having too many carbohydrates, even if they're good carbohydrates, it's a good question. If I was you, I would simply back it down to 20 grams of carbohydrates total per day and run that for a while and see exactly how you feel. You probably feel that you feel a lot better. You feel that it's simpler, and you might even feel that you probably won't have to track. You can simply just have 20 grams of total carbohydrates per day, and that's the only thing that you track. Fat and protein, some people have to track because they have had eating disorders and things of that nature, and it keeps them on track. Now, again, this is partially for you, but not totally for you. A lot of people simply get by with just meeting this 20 grams of total carbohydrates or less per day, and they simply don't have to track the rest of their macros. They just eat to satiety. They follow the Dr. Eric Westman method of eating keto-approved foods, tracking your macros carbohydrate-wise only to 20, and then leaving it alone. This is a method, guys. If you haven't tried it, if you haven't looked into reducing the amount of total carbohydrates, not net. Net is kind of like a smokescreen. It's a joke of a number because we don't actually understand completely with fiber what is digested and what's not. And even if it's a soluble fiber, not everybody digests fiber completely. There are some people that even soluble fiber, they never make it through their system. Or maybe your body reacts to fiber differently than somebody else. Give total 20 grams of carbohydrates a chance, and I bet you'll come back to this post and you'll say, wow, you were right. It's not that I was right. It's actually been being recommended for a while now, and people just don't want to switch over to it. They don't want to be told that they have to reduce the amount of things that they're already eating because they're happy with it. And as humans, I understand we don't like change, but unfortunately, sometimes we have to accept the fact that some things are going to change. And if you give this a chance, I think that you will like it. All right, guys. I'm about to be to work. God bless. Take care. Have a great day. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. There's a little bell on the right. After you subscribe, you can just tap it. It'll have some little icons around it. It means that it's rung, and anytime I make a video, you'll get notified. If you don't want to be notified of me making videos, just re-tap that bell again at any time. It will uncheck that bell, and you won't be notified from time to time, but you'll be subscribed, and you'll see my feed pop up every once in a while. Anyhow, I appreciate y'all. Again, thank you for supporting me. God bless. See you next.